What's going on, Guitar Heroes? My name's Nathan Whitney and I'm a touring guitar player. But when I'm not on tour, I like to spend time in my studio making some guitar tones. And this is a video about 80s clean guitar tones that may or may not have been inspired by the MXR Rockman pedal reissue. I don't have one of those, but what I do have is the Line 6 Helix. And so I'm going to try to create that sort of tone in the Helix using as few blocks as possible. So let's get to it. Nathan from the future, while I'm editing this video, I forgot to talk about the guitar. So let me just quickly talk about that. I'm using a Yamaha Pacifica Standard Plus 12M. I'm using it in middle and humbucker mode, so right there. And I am tapping the humbucker. I should also say I'm using the Helix rack control, and I've got an expression pedal connected for something you'll see coming up. Okay, here's the basic patch that I've been using for this 80s clean tone. It starts off with, you can see I've got all these blocks in here, but it starts off with just the amp. I'm using the Jazz Rivet, which is like a JC120. These are the settings here. Got the drive up to 8, bass at 3, mid at 1.1, treble at 4.7, presence at 4.6, channel volume 7.5, master 8.8, and bright at 4.7. You'll notice that it's just the amp. There is no cab on this patch. So we're going amp, and then I've got a volume pedal over here, and then going into the dynamic ambient stereo reverb. It's set at 8 meters. Pre-delay is 5, damping is 5 kilohertz. Diffusion is 50%, shape is early all the way up. Mix at 50%, low cut 100 hertz, high cut 10,000 hertz, and level is 0. And this is what it sounds like, just like this. Now turning off the dynamic ambience. Back on. So using in-ears, I'm getting a little bit of just space and room. Now if I change the shape, you could go late 100. And you're hearing even more of the room there. I like it right up close. So it doesn't even feel like or sound like a reverb. It just feels like there's a little bit of space. But the next thing we need for this tone is a compressor. If we go to compressor snapshot, I'm using the deluxe comp. I've got a pretty high threshold or low threshold. I don't know which way. It's negative 52. It's really grabbing onto stuff. If I brought that up to like minus 23, it's kind of overdriving because I've had to bring up the level, but you can see. But if I bring it back to negative 52, let's say, it's really crunching down on the attack and on the notes there. So we've got a ratio of 6:1, attack is 12 milliseconds, release is 200, mix is 100%. Like I said, I had to bring up the level. Standard, this is 11.9, but the regular is 7, so pretty quiet. So back up to 11.9. And the knee is at 6. That's pretty standard. The next thing we're going to go to get this 80s sound is the Trinity chorus, which is like a tri-chorus, and it sounds like this. You can hear it really widens the sound. So the rate is at 3.3. The depth on the left side is 7.9. Center depth is 5.2. Right depth is 8.5. There's not, for all these blocks, I didn't really change a whole lot. The only thing I did, I think, on here was the left boost. Yes, the left boost is on, the center boost is off, and the right boost is on. It's a stereo mood and mood. It's a stereo mood. It's a stereo mode, and the mix is at 50%. And that gives us, which is pretty 80s in and of itself. So back to just the compressor, and then the tri-chorus. Our next effect that I added just for a little bit of sauce and spice. I don't know if it's completely necessary for authentic, but I'm not trying to be authentic. I'm just trying to do something that sounds good. Is the dual pitch. So back to just the tri-chorus. Now with the dual pitch. Tri-chorus. Dual pitch. All we're doing is doing that 80s micro pitch type trick where we just bring up the sense on sense 1 by 3, and on sense 2 is -3, and then they are panned left and right to really widen out the sound. It adds to the tone for me. So tri-chorus with the dual pitch. Just a little icing on the cake there. And then, I should have mentioned a long time ago that I have a stereo volume block here after all the stereo effects before the reverb, because I don't want it to cut off the tail, even though it's very minimal. I don't want to cut off the tail of the reverb. So the volume block is in there. Snapshot 5 I've added just for fun, and you heard it in the tune at the top. Vintage digital delay. That just sounds 80s to me, and I love it. Back to the tri-chorus alone. Sounds 80s, but then over to the dual pitch. Tri-chorus. Dual pitch. Vintage digital delay. And those settings are a quarter note. It's set to the tempo of the song, 120 beats per minute. Feedback is 45, bit depth 12, sample rate 16 kilohertz, mix is at 40, and that's the taste of the mix. You can bring it up, bring it down. I've got the trails off. I'm going to switch those on because I want that to last. And the great thing about this with the stereo volume pedal is that you can do some pretty nice swells. So there you have it. An 80s style clean tone using a compressor, an amp without a cab, some pitch shifting, a tri-chorus, an ambient reverb, and a delay, along with a little volume pedal action. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you can recreate this patch on your own Helix or find the inspiration for whatever modeling or digital device you may have. Once again, my name's Nathan. I'll see you on the road this summer, and I will definitely see you on the internet. Yeah.